Yeah.
So I think you did the right thing by picking this because people need to see that side.
Yeah, neither of us wanted to come in here today and talk about, because you don't want to talk about that. But that's also the purpose when we originally visioned this podcast. That's why we called it Better Than Perfect.
Right.
Because
we never tried to act like we never mess up.
And that makes it actually better, because perfect is something that can be destroyed.
Right.
You can break something that's perfect.
Well, and it's easy to break it, right? Because one little mistake means it's done.
Then it's not perfect anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But better than perfect is where something's refined over time. It's anti-fragile. The more that there's, you fix the things, like it's good. It's like you're purifying, like gold in the fire as you melt the gold down and refine it and get all the impurities off of it. That's what you're doing. Sometimes when you're going through the crucible.
I love your metaphors in every episode. It's just some sort of metaphor in there. We need to do like a collection of clips of your metaphors.
Yeah. But it's true. But that process of, because how do you, and that's the other thing I think that's so valuable too. We didn't really talk about it in the first episode on why I get married, like as a man. And the real value, or one of the real values, is that, like, no matter how much personal development you do as a person, and it's not just a man, but just as a person, but for men to listen, you can never reach the height of your personal development until you're in a relationship with someone else,
right?
Like a really intimate relationship. Because
I would even say someone that helps you through those, because plenty of people are in relationships that they don't feel like they can even grow because someone's kind of dragging them back down. You know what I mean? Like with negativity or whatever. But I feel like when you really have a supportive partner like you and I have, you can reach levels, like you said, that you never would have been able to reach on your own. Because when you're on your own, you think you have it all figured out. Exactly. And to some degree you do, because you're not interacting with another human being to the level that you are when you're married or living with a boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah.
So
it's like you always just say, it's like, I wouldn't deal with this kind of person. It's like when you're single, when you're by yourself, you can just close the doors. You just be like, I don't want to deal with that. It's like, you're disrupting my peace. I'm a peaceful person.
Right.
So many times I thought I got it all figured out. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I've worked on myself a lot. Like, and then all of these things that I like had issues that I needed to face that I hadn't faced because I didn't need to face them because I can operate just fine. I was fine. But they come up. And then I realized, you think that you're loving all the time? Well, yeah, that's easy. You can be loving all the time when you're not deeply connected to someone, and the things that they do cut you deep to the core. Because when you feel that, are you still loving all the time?
Or they hit a trigger, or they hit something that you buried down and didn't actually fully process and let go.
Right, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a benefit to a man.
Cleaning everything out of there.
Because you do reach a better level of self-actualization and development through that. So, but that's why it's, two people helping each other become one. You know?
Better than perfect.
Exactly. But
that's true. And it's been a hard week.
Yeah, it's been a hard week.
But I feel better, you feel better.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a better place. And that's all that really matters, is that we didn't allow that week to make us worse.
Yeah.
Or diminish our relationship. We're using it to make our relationship even better than it already was.
Exactly. Yeah. Every time we come back with a new version, that's a improvement.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
but that's the key.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to help people do, you know? And like you said, that's why this episode is so important, because I'm sure other people too, even though they don't have a whole podcast with their partner, like might get in a fight or have a argument or disagreement, and maybe some of their friends are around, and then now they feel like their friends are like, oh yeah, well, how is their relationship?
Right.
And
exactly.
It's like, that doesn't have to define you unless you allow it. Like, that doesn't have to define your relationship unless you just give up on working through the stuff. And it's a reality. Like, I don't believe anybody, especially being with you, I don't believe anybody who says they don't have any sort of arguments at all.
Yeah.
And to be honest, even if someone says that, I wouldn't think their relationship was as deep or as fulfilling or rich as our relationship, because like you said, we've used all these instances that we've encountered to grow together and as individuals too. So like, it's just normal. It like feels shameful. And I guess because people like make people feel shameful for it, or be like, your relationship isn't actually as good as you think it is. I'm sure we'll get some comments like that. But when you know, though, what your relationship is, and you know that, one, people aren't ever going to fully understand, but you know what it is. And two, by being vulnerable, you're allowing the people who go through similar things to feel heard and accepted, and like it's normal. And I think especially with like social media and things like that, people don't feel normal. I mean, I feel like it is kind of swinging the other way with people posting more normal kind of content. But a lot of the like couple stuff, or like, you know, people you see together, sometimes it does feel like perfectly polished. And then you look at your own relationship and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel like that, or it doesn't look like that. But there are things that those people who are even perfectly polished are going through. They're just not showing you. But I agree with that. We do need to show people the hard stuff too, so that they know that we're not that much different from them.
Well, and also I think, you know, sometimes a podcast like this could be discouraging instead of encouraging, because people could be listening to it, implementing what we say, and then having some kind of issue, or having an argument or a fight. And then they're like, oh, I'm screwing it up, or it doesn't work, or I guess I just don't have it in me.
Right.
And that's not true. It's a work in progress. It's an always moving, like the things that we're saying aren't going to make it so that all of a sudden, well, you're going to implement them perfectly. And even if you did, you're still human. You're still going to make a mistake. You're still dealing with another human who's going to make mistakes. And so like, I think it's important to show that, so that you don't feel so bad. Like, hey, everybody is going to have, you know, issues and have things that they need to work out. But the important thing is that you do work them out. And I think that's the other thing maybe that's worth discussing in this is like how to work them out, which again, probably this week wasn't the best example of it on my part, because I was not working out in a loving way. But I can tell you as a man, what you should be doing is always checking yourself to say, whatever I'm doing right now, whatever I'm saying right now, is it coming across in a loving way? Does my woman, I'll use that term to catch all.
Just my woman.
Wife, girlfriend, you know, whatever it is.
Lady friend.
Lady friend. Yeah, see, for the older gentleman. All right. Does she feel loved right now? And more importantly, there's a book that I'm hesitant to recommend it because we haven't read it yet, but there was some good stuff in that. We'll probably do a whole episode on it called Love and Respect. And kind of the premise of the book is that women want unconditional love. Men want unconditional respect. And so it's like, as a man, I can say, when you're in a discussion, argument, whatever it is, even if it escalates to fight level, you have to think about whatever I'm saying, is it coming across in a way like, does my woman feel, I don't know what to feel like I'm showing her unconditional love. Even because I can say, hey, I have an issue with this. I can say, hey, this hurt my feelings. I could say, hey, I'd like you to not do this, or I'd like you to do this or change this. But I can say all those things in a way that is a loving way, or I can say them in an abrasive way, or a defensive way, or, you know. So I think that's the thing that is very important as a man. Better than